collision severity detection system. Getting started with Xampp. Upon successful installation of Xampp, the control panel should look something similar to what you see in front of you. It has many services like Apache, MySQL, FileZilla, Mercury, Tomcat, etc. Out of this, we will be using only two. We will be using Apache and MySQL. Apache is used to start a local server. MySQL is used to create and access local database where we store our collision data. You can simply start the services by clicking on the respective start buttons present adjacent to the name of the service. After clicking start, the respective services will be up and running. You can see the PID, which is process ID, next to the name of the service once the service is initiated. And you will see the numbers of the ports as well, which you can refer immediately once it is up and running. Creating a database. Now it's time to start preparing the backend of our system. Open your preferred web browser and type localhost in the address bar to load the home page of the Xampp. After hitting enter, the URL gets changed localhost/dashboard. Click on phpMyAdmin, which will redirect you to the home page of phpMyAdmin, which is used to create custom database for storing all the parameters. All the options that we are presenting in front are easier to understand and are self-explanatory. You can click on the new to create a new database, and you need to give the name of the database as accident_inf, as you can see here. And most importantly, you can create a table, and the table name is presented as severity_data with number of columns being set as 5. All these are dynamically to be arranged by yourself based on the requirement. We are going to create 5 empty fields, and that's the first step to be done. And you can see that the name of the fields are respectively time, latitude, longitude, severity, and Google Maps. The time is of the type date time, the latitude and longitude is of the type float, severity is of the type medium text, and Google Maps is of the type long text. Make sure that you follow the same stuff and do not change anything over here. And you can leave the rest of the columns as it is as per the default configuration. Accessing website. After clicking save, a table in the database will be created. To make the task easy for you, we have made the .php file, which contains the HTML code as well as the PHP code for visualizing the data in the database. For accessing the web page, kindly copy the impact.php file, which is made available in the resources folder for you, and you paste it inside the htdocs directory. It is present in the folder where Xampp is installed. C:\Xampp htdocs is the appropriate path. We have presented the screenshots for your easier reference, and in the second screenshot you can see that the impact.php is pasted inside Xampp and htdocs, and this is to be done for the entire process to be smooth. HTML code. If you open the impact.php file, it contains the HTML code along with the PHP code. Head tag of HTML contains the meta tag, in which the char set is defined as UTF-8, and title tag contains title of the web page, and the style tag contains the styling information for the table. Table styles the whole HTML table element, and .th styles the header of the table. tr nth child even styles every even row of the table. The styling elements inside the table th, tr are all self-explanatory, and we have presented the code for you right in front. Body contains table tag, which is used for constructing a table in the HTML. tr is the short form of table row, and th is the short form of the table header. So tr is used for constructing a row, and th is used for constructing the header of the table. Inside each th tag, name of the each column is written. We request you to go through the code for easier understanding before you go to the next level. PHP code. Understanding the PHP code is out of the scope of this course, but we'll explain some little terms so that you can tweak this code and build any similar other application. MySQLi_connect tries to connect to the local host and accesses the accident_inf database. If connection failed, it returns an error. If the connection is successful, it will select each column in the table severity underscore data using select from. For getting the data in this columns query is used. The code is presented in front of you and we request you not to spend a lot of time here as it is beyond the scope of this course. But we request you to understand the fundamentals as we have conveyed you. If the number of rows obtained in the result are greater than 0, then each row is converted into a HTML tabular row using tr and td, where td is the short form of table define used for defining each cell of the row. Echo is used for printing data in PHP, and for printing the text and the variable together in PHP, dot is used. If there is no data, then 0 results will be printed. Accessing the website. After the impact.php file is copied into the htdocs directory, then you can access directly the web page from your browser by typing localhost/impact.php. You can also create your own PHP file and paste it in the htdocs directory so that it can be accessed using localhost. When you access the impact.php in the browser, then it should look as what you see in front of you right now. All the parameters in the table severity underscore inf will be updated using a Python script. The Python script will be reading the data from the serial port, parses it, processes it, and it updates in the table. After the parameters gets updated in the table, the PHP code reads the data from the table and displays on the web page. Time is used to store the timestamp about when the accident has happened. The lat long details are also available, and latitude longitude are the coordinates for the location which are obtained from the GPS sensor. Severity is obtained from the FSR and collision sensor. Finally, we will also provide a Google Map link using the lat and long data. Python code. Python code is used for reading the data from the Arduino serial and updating it in the database. Import time for delay operations, date time for getting the present timestamp, import serial for reading the serial data, and PyMySQL for updating the parameters into the database. You can see that the code is pretty simple and easy for anybody to understand. Before running the Python script, please make sure that you have installed the PyMySQL using pip. You need not install time and date time as these are installed by default during the installation of Python. Serial.serial is used for accessing the COM port. Replace your COM port with COM port number of Arduino Uno. ARD port is used for accessing Arduino's COM port data, which is initialized with a baud rate of 9600, and pms.connect is used for connecting the database accident_inf through localhost. Connection.cursor is used as a cursor for performing operations on the database. Curse.execute is used to execute an operation on the database. Truncate table severity underscore data is used to empty the severity data table every time you run the code. If you want to have the data intact in the database, then remove this line and you can run the code. This will retain all the data. Severity initially stores that there is no impact. RECV data stores the data obtained from the Arduino serial. FSR underscore data latitude longitude will be assigned with values passed from RECV data using dot split. Then each of these variable will be converted to float using map function. Depending on the FSR underscore value, severity will be assigned with the severity level. You can go through the code, which is pretty much self-explanatory, and you can understand the same. The final step of the code is to update the web page using some simple SQL commands. Time underscore now stores the present time and the date of the system. If the severity is not no impact, then insert the parameters into the table using insert into severity data method. After updating the parameters, severity is again set to no impact for checking another collision. Connection.autocommit of true is used for automatically refreshing the table after updation. The Google Map link is updated in the table, and they are nothing but the latitude and the longitude location coordinates obtained from the GPS. You can see the same thing in the code for your easier understanding. Deploying the system. This is the most important step, and this is very easy to do as well. Deploying is the final step for any system. For this, you need to connect the Arduino Uno board to the PC, note the COM port allocated for the board and paste it in the Python code data_upload.py. We have been repeatedly telling you about the importance of the COM port and make sure that you do not miss it. To run the Python code, if there is a collision with no impact, then no data updates. If there is a collision with some impact, then the data updates on the table. If there is a collision with impact, we get you update. If there is collision without impact, there is nothing. After the data gets updated in the table, if you go to the web page and refresh it, then you can see the same data on the web page. You can also copy the Google Map link and paste it on a new tab for visualizing where exactly the accident has happened. Let's summarize. You have built a real-time collision severity detection system with GPS, FSR, collision sensor, Apache server, SQL database, and Python script. Easiest way to notify the emergency services about the location of the accident is using Google Map link, and it has been added to the web page as one of the parameters. The same web page can be hosted over the internet by adding some additional CSS and responsiveness so that the emergency services can access the live accident data. In this tutorial, we will clearly understand how do we create a database with Xampp support. Also, how do we display and visualize the data in the web page. All these are simple and easy to do. We request you to follow the process and the guidelines that we are going to give you right now. Please follow all these steps meticulously. The first step is to open the Xampp that you have installed in your system. Open the Xampp control panel as we have shown you right in front of you, and we are going to use Apache and MySQL. We got to start these two, and first let us start Apache, and you can see that you have got an error message as Apache shut down unexpectedly. This is because of a block port or missing dependencies. Don't worry, we can fix it. Go to config, and once config is clicked, the first link there, Apache httpd.conf. Go to that file, scroll down, and you will see something called as listen 80, make it 8080. Scroll down further, you will have one other location where you will have localhost colon 80, make it 8080. Once you do that, just save it and close it. Now we have fixed the first part of it. We need to go ahead with some more corrections and configuration changes right now. Click on the same config. Open Apache, the second link, httpd-ssl.conf. Scroll it down further. You can see that in listen, you make it 4432 4433. Similarly, scroll down further where you have another location where 443 is there, make it 4433. Why do we have to do it, sir? The question is very simple and the answer has to be given. This ports might be used by some other resources or some other processes, and hence is the blockage. Once you do this, the blockage will be clear. Now we can start the Apache service, and you can see that the PID has been shown, which means the service has been started. Now the MySQL is also started and the PID is presented there, which is a process ID. So we have started both Apache and MySQL, and the first part of it is over. Go to any of your favorite browser and type localhost colon. What is the number that you need to type there? You have got 8080 clearly given in the configuration tool. So give 8080 and you will immediately get the dashboard for example. And in that, please go to PHP my admin, and you can see a lot of options there which could enable you to create a database, modify, edit. All these options are very useful and we request you to go through it at your comfort. Click on new. Now you can create a new database, and the database name that we are preferring here is accident_inf, and you have created it. The moment you have created it, it will be reflected in the left hand side and you can see that. Now we need to create table. In that, we have got the name of the table to be given as well as the number of columns needs to be specified. The name of the table is severity_data and the number of columns that we want is 5. So I am making it 5, and once it is done, give go. This is the easiest way you can create it. Now you have seen that you've got a table, and there you've got name, type, length values, default, collation, attributes, everything is there. Let's go one by one. I'm going to give the first column as time, and it is of the type date time. The second one is going to be latitude, and it is of the type float. I'm going to select float. The third is longitude and it is also of the type float. I'm going to select it that way. We will have to type each and everything properly, and the fourth one is going to be severity, and the severity is nothing but we need to select the appropriate type again. For severity we are going with medium text, and the last one that we need to go ahead with is the Google map. We need to give the Google underscore maps, and what is it of? It is of the type long text. So once we do that, leave rest of the columns with the default values. Once we do that, save it. Now we have created a database with the table, and the table has got a lot of columns as we needed, and you can see the content over here which is displayed. Time is date time, latitude, longitude, float, severity, medium text, Google Maps, long text. All this can be changed. If you want to delete it, you can click drop. Options are plenty, and we request you to go through it at your comfort. The severity data, when you click, you can see the time, latitude, longitude, severity, Google Maps, all of them are displayed properly, which means that the things are created properly and there is no content as of now because we have not updated the database with the content. Now what is the next step? We have given a file called impact.php. Just select it, copy it and move it in the Xampp directory, move it into htdocs. There you need to paste it, and impact.php goes to htdocs. Now once it is done, we can go ahead and now open localhost colon 8080 slash impact.php. You open it, you get a web page with time, latitude, longitude, severity and Google Maps available. There is no data entry there because we have not updated the database. The next step is to get the database updated, and we are going to do it step by step. And all this process have to be followed consistently, otherwise you may get errors. Now please understand that we have created a database and we have created cells for it. You've got options to delete the entire table. You have options to empty the table. You've got multiple options supported in this entire toolbox, which can enable you to empty, drop, delete. You can do modifications as per your wish for the table that you have created. This is very easy to use. At the same time, this is giving you enormous amount of options, and under the operations you can drop the database as well. You can entirely, on its entirety, you can remove the database. We'll go with the hardware demo right now, from where we are going to get the real-time data reflected in the web page. We are going to simulate a collision with severity and we will get that data reflected in the web page. Please give the connections, and the necessary things are to be done as per our guidelines in the connection diagram explanation part. First, let us install some dependency files in Python. We will have to go to the command prompt and we need to install the dependency that we have with certain library files, and PyMySQL has to be installed with pip install PyMySQL command. Once it is done, the installation complete message will come and we are all set to go with the demo. As I conveyed you, please make the connections as per our connection diagram explanation that we have given during the PPT and theoretical explanation. Now open the Python file, run the code. It will not give you any output until we simulate it. We are going to simulate a collision right now, but since we have not given any impact, there was no impact of the collision, there is no data which is being shown right there as the output. Now we are going to create impact as well by pressing it with the finger, and we are doing it thrice. We have created a simulation, we have built a simulation where we have created an impact thrice, and we need to get the data of the severity of the impact right in front of you. High, very high are the impact, and when you refresh this web page that we have already created, you get all the data here real time, along with the lat, long, severity index, and the most importantly the Google Maps. Just copy paste the Google Maps link over there and you get the location exactly where the collision has been reported. This is the simplest way one can understand how